Welcome to another edition of Our City. I hope all of the members of the Jewish faith in our community are enjoying the Passover time, and the Catholics as they move into Palm Sunday and the Easter celebration. May we keep in mind what's important about family and peace around the world. And a few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Friday, April 22nd, City Hall is going to be closed in observance of Good Friday. And on Saturday at 11 o'clock, I'm going to join members of the Pro-Cuba Association in their annual elections. This club is located at 9-13 Pro-Cuba Street, known as Morel Street in our city. For more information, call 352-1074. The Pro-Cuba Association is a long-time association in our city that advocates for a free and equal Cuba among nations around the world. Following that event, I'm going to attend a dedication ceremony of an Elizabeth fallen soldier, Specialist Pedro Milici, who lost his life while serving in Afghanistan. We're going to rename in honor of the specialist the corner of 6th and East Jersey Streets, and it will be named in his honor. I'll be joined by his family on that day as well. And also, as a reminder, next week, the City of Elizabeth, the Rotary Club of Elizabeth, the Trinitas Regional Medical Center, Runnels Specialized Hospital, a coalition of area agencies and corporations are teaming up to provide free immunizations to city children during National Life-Saving Immunizations Week, which is April 25th to the 29th. We'll provide free immunizations to children aged 6 and younger. For more information, please call the City of Elizabeth's Health Department at 820-4246. And also keep in mind, as I've said on the past shows, going back to the beginning of March, from now until April 25th, there will be a collection box in all of the Elizabeth firehouses. It collects canned goods, rice, instant potatoes, soups, gravies, and other nourishing food to help replenish the food pantry of the City of Elizabeth, the New Jersey Greater Area Salvation Army. Feel free to bring your food donations to the firehouse at 411 Irvington Avenue or any firehouse in your community or neighborhood. And if you need information on the nearest firehouse, you may call the credit union at 351-7770. So if you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 820-4124. And I'm pleased to be joined on this week's show by Mr. George Cruz, the Director of Admissions, and Mr. John Pillock, the Administrator for Del Air Nursing and Rehab Center in our community. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
And thank you for having us again on the show.
Good to be here.
It's wonderful to be here. We have some real exciting things going on at Del Air that is going to affect our community in Elizabeth. And I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on and a little bit more about us. Del Air has been servicing Elizabeth and the community for more than a quarter of a century. We are a 280-bed skilled nursing facility, and we're very unique because we offer several levels of care, including the entry level of assisted living. We have a 40-bed assisted living community. We use about 35 of the beds because of space issues, but we're servicing the seniors who need some assistance but are somewhat still independent, but they still need management of their medications and some assistance. We also have a 60-bed dementia unit that is certified by the state of New Jersey. The unit, we usually have a couple of beds available. As you can imagine, it is a very serious disease, and we are working closely with Trinitas Hospital, the community, the senior centers, and organizations such as COPSA and the Alzheimer's Association to service these residents. We also have long-term care, respite care, and several programs that used to be hospital-based. Now the hospitals have shortened their length of stay. They'd like to get patients out within 3 or 4 days, and a lot more goes on in the nursing homes that used to in the past. such as TPN and PPN, which is total parenteral nutrition and partial parenteral nutrition. There's peritoneal and hemodialysis as well. We're recently certified by the state on both peritoneal and hemodialysis.
I want to talk to John about that. John, I understand your facility just had a State Department health survey, and maybe you can tell our viewer, you're the administrator of the facility, right?
That's correct,
so
yes.
The facility is located on, where's it located? On St. George Avenue?
No, we're on Stimson, 400 West Stimson.
Oh,
in Linden, located
right.
between Stiles and Wood Avenue. Yes, we did have a survey back in January. The State Department of Health comes in on an annual basis, usually every 12 to 15 months. They usually walk in unannounced. They say, hi, we're here for your survey. And they look at a number of things. They look at regulations not only on the state level, but also the federal level. They look at food services, that's the kitchen, and also what the dietitians do. They look at nursing services. They look at how our residents are kept, the dignity of our residents, or the resident rights. They take a look at the standards relating to rehab, our post-acute rehab unit. And also what administration does with its staff and with its employees. They usually walk in and they're there 5 to 8 days. They go through a number of mandatory standards that they need to review. And then they let you know how you did based on their review of those standards. There's a number of surveyors that come in. There's nurses that come in. There's dietitians that come in. There's also someone who does plant safety. They take a look at the building to make sure that the building is safe for the residents. This past survey, this past January, they were there for 8 days, and I'm quite pleased with the results of that survey because it was our best survey that Del Air has had in a number of years. And we had 3 minor deficiencies based on the mandatory standards. But I said, we're better than the mandatory. We want you to take a look, and there's a set of standards called advisory standards. There's 19 chapters. They look at standards in addition to the mandatory that we say we're better than the mandatory standards. In each one of these chapters, you have to achieve 67% of the standards within that chapter. And the last chapter, which is the Alzheimer's dementia chapter, you have to achieve all the standards to get that particular advisory status for that chapter. We went for 15 of the 19 chapters. We received advisory status for 15 of those 19. So not only being the 3 minor deficiencies and saying we're better, we received the advisory status. And for our Alzheimer's dementia unit, as George mentioned, we received certification from the State Department of Health saying that our dementia unit meets the advisory standards for dementia care. And
your background, has it been in this field all the time?
I've been in healthcare about 33 years. I was 18 years in hospital management and administration. Then I had an opportunity to go into long-term care from the hospital system, and I'd been in long-term care for 15 years. I've been in 4 different facilities, so I was able to see how different nursing homes operate and how they address long-term care and how they meet the needs of the resident population. About 4 or 5 years ago, I was working for my current employer, which is Hospicom. They were managing a building, but the owner sold, so I went to another company, and I'm back at Del Air working for Hospicom again, and I'm glad I'm there. And I've only been there about 18 months. So we've made a lot of changes and a lot of strides at Del Air to meet the needs of the older population.